All right, this is a video on taping an Amstaff puppy's ears. It's important to make sure that there are no scabs left from the stitches. Generally, you're gonna do the stitches, you're gonna remove the stitches and then let it heal for a few more days before you start taping because you don't want any scabs. The supplies that you're gonna need are ear cleaner. I like to use witch hazel, but any type of dog ear cleaner works. You're gonna need backer rod. I've got 3/8" backer rod. This comes in big foam rolls, so I've just cut them short so I can measure the ear. And then glue for keeping it inside the ears. I can get this off of Amazon currently. I get sports tape just like this. You can also use paper tape if your puppy's ears are very sensitive. You need duct tape to be able to stiffen this up. And then paper towels for cleaning, and you'll need scissors. And I do recommend some kind of peanut butter Kong or something to keep the puppy busy after you've put them in, especially if the puppy has never had this done before, which this will be Dusty's first time. It's also a good idea to make sure that you get the puppy at least a little bit tired before you do this. It makes life a little bit easier. He's not as tired as I would like, but he's a little worked out. So I created these tapes right here. This is actually what we're going to be using to tape the posts into his ears. I generally do 3 longer strips and 1 shorter strip to go over the top of the ear to keep it in place. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to make the backer rod. So the first thing that we've got to do is we've got to measure how long this really needs to be. I am also going to cut one end so it's more of a sharp, like it'll go into his ear like that. So let me grab him real quick. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure the ear. We're gonna put this inside of his ear and pull the ear up to get your measurement. You wanna make sure your posts are never too short. It's okay if it's a little long because you can always recut it, but you wanna make sure that it's all the way in there and you go just a little bit above the tip. And then what I'll do is I'll just cut it like that. And so now I've got my post. All right, so I've just made a piece of tape that's about the length of this, just a little bit shorter. And we're just gonna stick this in the middle here and wrap it around. What this will do is make the post solid. So that way it's got some sturdiness and hold that ear up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tape, and this is very important that you get this right. So you wanna take this tape, put it on there, wrap it once, and then you're gonna flip it back the other way so the sticky side is up. And then just wrap all the way down your post, just like this. And now we have one little post for the puppy. You make 2 of these, obviously. Clean his ears out really good before. We want to get down in there and make sure there's no gunk. His ears are pretty clean, but always good to just make sure there's nothing there. There's a little bit there. He's kind of whiny. So now what you want to do is you want to put your glue on to one side of your post like this. This glue is getting a little bit old, but when you put it on, you just wipe it on a good amount and then you let it dry. It takes about a good minute for it to dry. You should see it looks a little bit drier. Then you're going to want to place it inside the ear. You want to make sure to seat it very deeply and pull the ear up. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to put the post down into that ear canal, and this is his first time. So I'm going to pull that ear up. Now, as we can see, this is a little bit long, which is not a bad thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim. I'm going to put my thumb over that ear tip. I'm going to just trim a little bit off. And then I'm going to take my short little piece of tape that I cut earlier, and I'm going to put it, I'm going to fix that up a little bit again. And then we're going to put that over the tip of the ear. Try to secure that ear to keep it from falling. So that way we've got this little piece here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the base of the ear. I'm gonna put the edge on the inside. As I pull the ear up, I'm going to put a little bit there. Once again, I'm pulling the ear up, and I wanna wrap around the ear like this. I don't wanna go this way because that's gonna fold this in a weird direction. So I'm gonna wrap around this way, and I wanna pull that ear up as I'm doing it. And I'm just gonna go around just like that with that. So once again, we've got it secured down. I'm gonna grab my next strip, start at the top, and come down, making sure I'm doing it a little bit snug, but not crazy snug. There we go. So we've got that. And then the last piece, I'm going to kind of go from the center of the tape, put it in there, and I'm gonna pull that ear up nice and good. I'm gonna come down like that. So now we've got our post in. It's unlike a Doberman, he does not need to have a bridge. He just needs to have this up like this. If you have an issue with tips or the ear bending in, like over the head, sometimes it's good to make that post bend out a little bit. But straight up and down is good, or the ears can go out like that and it'll be just fine. Now you want to make sure that you watch this bottom area. It shouldn't swell. If it looks swollen at all, then take them out immediately. Never let the tapes get wet. It can cause an ear infection. It can become a chronic ear infection even once you take it out. And you want to make sure that you take this off after about 4 days. Let the ear air out for about 2 to 12 hours, depending on how goopy it looks. It may look a little bit red, so give it a little bit of rest, but do not let it rest for more than 12 hours before you put them back up. Generally, when you're taping ears, you want to keep it going for about a month. Then you take them down and you test to see if they're going to stay up on their own. Don't keep taking it out, seeing that it looks good, and then letting the ears fall again. If you let the ears fall again, it's like starting over at square one. All right, now that both posts are in, it's important to go ahead and distract the puppy. You want to give him like a peanut butter Kong or walk him around and get him to not focus on the posts until it's really dry and secure in there. Otherwise, he'll pull them out. If the bottom parts pop out, like if they manage to work that bottom part out, you need to take them out immediately. You don't want the bottom of the post to be poking out of the side of the dog's head. But that's it. That's a posted puppy.